start to approach your topic, consider if there are a few broad angles that you can actually tackle for this subject. Does the resolution have any impact which are sociological, political, logical or practical, environmental, economical, legal, ethical, or moral, to name a few? Once you have a few themes in mind, aim for 3 themes, you and your partner can together brainstorm arguments which follow along these themes, but are on slightly different tacks or different angles. So I'll give you an example. Consider the debate, roundabouts are better than traffic lights. One of your 3 themes can be an environmental impact. And from this one theme of environmental, you can actually have lots of arguments that come out of that. So, for example, the Prime Minister could say that roundabouts don't consume electricity. So therefore, the energy would be saved, and that any pollution-generating power generators would be reduced. You're lowering your carbon footprint. And then the second speaker for the government could then follow that by saying that roundabouts are reducing the idling by the cars that are participating in those roundabouts. And then that drops the carbon footprint of the vehicle itself. So you've got one theme across the entire team with different arguments. And then you've got these 2 distinct arguments raising organically from a single theme, which is great. Then don't just stop at your arguments. You want to make sure that your arguments are well supported with relative and relevant research. The points I just mentioned sound reasonable, they sound clear. Well, sure, a roundabout, you don't have lights, there's no power. But you don't want to just say that, even though it appears to be clear. You want to back that up. So, for example, are there any statistics for energy consumption of traffic lights from Ontario Power Generation or Hydro One, etc.? Are there any studies measuring the idling emissions of vehicles at red lights? You want some facts, you want some information. And then use a broad range of sources. Don't just look at Wikipedia. Can you find articles from recognizable news sources around the world? Can you find studies from reputable journals that are coming from official statistics from government sources like Statistics Canada? Those are hard facts, and they really add credence to your case. And finally, there must be a clear and logical link between your content, your source, and your argument. So you can't just say something and then say, oh, and this is backed up by time. You have to actually have a reasonable link. And finally, when you're in the middle of doing your research, take a look at the points which support the opposing side. So think about what the opposition is going to come up with. And then don't just use those counterpoints as your entire argument. Don't just debate against what you think the opposition is going to say before they even say it. But be mindful of what the other side has. You can kind of do a little bit of research, do a little bit of thinking about what they might surprise you with, and then you can have that all kind of ready in your back pocket when it comes to rebuttal and refutation time. So don't just do straw man fallacy. Don't argue against something that hasn't been said yet. So, for example, for the debate, dogs are better than cats, consider reasons why cats would be good companions. And then consider if there's any flaws in the logical reasoning around those arguments, just to be ready for them. Just have these ideas handy. The last thing I'll say about things that you want to prepare for is see if you can find any fun quotes or any puns or jokes that you want to add in, or some style points. So prepare, see if there's anything that's clever. And it's something that can make your presentation more memorable. And it also comes back to what makes you unique when you're presenting behind the stage. So these are the members that are here tonight. Each person has their own style that they've developed here over the years. So you want to start developing your own style and see how you want to prepare for that. So that comes over time. And I've kind of tricked you while walking you through this presentation to talk about the adjudication scorecard, which is actually how we judge and how we score our debates. So first we talk about argument, and I'll read the right-hand side, which is for a perfect score. So for arguments, all of your arguments are very persuasive and relevant. For content, you've got compelling evidence for all arguments. For your rebuttal and refutation, you've got devastating and gripping rebuttals, which is great if you're prepared for them. And teamwork, you've got a focused and it's seamless and it's balanced. Again, you've got the same arguments coming, you've got the same themes coming from the same side, no contradictions. And finally, for style and rhetoric, it's perfectly compelling and entertaining. So those are all of the tools I can give you to put together a perfect debate. Thank you.
Okay. If you want, you can explain it in Spanish or in English. Whatever you prefer, it's fine. The idea is to know if you understand something or complete or some part of this idea. What exactly we try to explain about this class of the debate.
Profe, ¿ya volvió a la pantalla normal? Sí.
Sí.
Okay.
Profe, ¿puedo verlo nuevamente?
Sí, claro. no hay problema.
Bueno,
¿Cuál es la idea? Vamos a hacer lo siguiente, vamos a verlo, listo, no hay ningún problema. Si lo queremos explicar primero en español para que sea más claro, no hay ningún problema. Si entendí 3 palabras de las 4000 que dijo, bueno, listo, entendí 3. Sí, sí, porque digamos de que la idea tampoco es la presión, pero sí desde ya lo que yo les decía. Ya vamos a empezar con todos esos semestres a correr, a agudizar mucho más ese oído. Y no solo la canción favorita, porque la canción favorita se me hace más fácil, sino entender un poco qué quiso decir de pronto este señor ahí, más allá de que sabemos de que está hablando un debate, pero si entendemos situaciones puntuales, como por ejemplo qué pasó en el 2007 que él menciona, si mencionó algún país en específico o por qué no menciona. Porque él está hablando desde dónde. ¿Estará en Estados Unidos, en Reino Unido, en Canadá o dónde está el señor? Sí, más allá de que todos sabemos de que está hablando del debate.
no.
Y de nuevo, no hay problema.
Sí, voy a verlo de nuevo, profe.
Y que me puedan dar una explicación así sea pequeña y breve de lo que se entendió. ¿Tú quieres verlo
Bueno.
también nuevamente?
Sí,
¿O te quieres arriesgar de una vez a contar lo que comprendiste? No hay ningún problema, lo podemos repetir. Igual eran 2 videitos, pero si hacemos uno solo, viene y ¿cómo se diría? Ya se le enreda a uno las palabras.
um,
Si
creo
quieren,
que o sea, yo entendí que, o sea, creo que cometí un error porque al escucharlo iba entendiendo algunas cosas, pero las iba escribiendo en español. Entonces creo que al final empecé a escribir en inglés y creo que es mucho más fácil, pero no caí en cuenta al principio. O sea, al final coloqué, por ejemplo, things to prepare, jokes, make the presentation memorable, pero no escribí al principio en español. Entonces coloqué, por ejemplo, que para poder hacer un debate hay que realizar una investigación acerca del tema, que en Canadá realizaron una investigación acerca del impacto en el medio ambiente, el consumo de la electricidad, la polución, reducir el humo de los carros, ese tipo de cosas. Pero no lo escribí en inglés, sino lo escribí en español.
sí, lo que te digo, si quieres verlo bien para organizar tu, pero van muy bien, perfecto. Eso es lo que uno se busca de esa comprensión del video. Y ese enfoque por el que vas, ese tipo de cosas, esos tips son precisamente los que buscamos con lo de la comprensión. Entonces me demuestras de que para hacer la primera vez que es el video y no haberlo visto antes, pues ahí nos está llevando por el enfoque que es. Esa es la idea.
Escribí más, pero todo en español. Voy a verlo otra vez y lo que escribo en inglés.
Dale, no hay problema, lo que les digo, como vamos solo con las 2, tengo más tiempo con la actividad porque los demás no se conectaron, entonces me da la oportunidad de que no tenemos que verlos necesariamente ya mismo ver el otro video, sino que podemos indagar en eso. Entonces, si quieren lo revisan de nuevo, take notes, please.
Okay.
Y si lo hacen en inglés, la explicación pues sería mucho mejor. Pero pues si no, la prefieren en español, pues se entiende, ¿vale?
Ok, bueno, entonces vuelvo y comparo, solo lo veo yo, ¿cómo hago?
Lo que pasa, yo lo voy a ver acá en mi celular, porque es que como se corta, entonces hay palabras que, o sea, realmente, entonces se queda como paralizado, entonces no entiendo nada. Entonces
Sí,
voy a verlo desde acá.
puede pasar, si es verdad, dice Aleida, puede pasar que uno con él. Sí, claro, cada uno véalo, igual está en el chat. Entonces véalo cada una y yo espero nuevamente y ya les comparto la parte final de la actividad.
Vale.
Bueno, profe, ya vuelvo.
Y yo sé que nos rinde para que puedan seguir sus actividades. Vale, entonces yo espero acá.
I'm going to do a presentation on how to prepare for a debate. So the first thing I'll say is that pretend that you're in a situation where you've signed up for a debate topic, that you know the topic, you know what side you're on, and it's happening in a couple weeks or a few weeks. So the first thing you want to do is you want to give yourself lots of time to ponder and grapple with the topic before you just dive straight into Google and start looking things up. So give it a moment, reflect upon it, just let the concepts roll around in your head. And you never know what might occur to you while you're thinking about seemingly unrelated things. So you never know where some connections of wisdom are going to come from. When you do start your research, learn about the reality of the current situation, what it's like on the ground here today. So if you have an example for the debate, face coverings should be banned in public places. You might want to determine the actual legality of face coverings in Canada in certain situations. So, for example, did you know that in 2007, Quebec allowed voters to mask their face while they were voting? And then in 2011, Canada banned face coverings for citizenship votes. So those are some realities. So those are the kind of things that you want to actually look up and get some facts to find out what's really happening. And then as a step further, go beyond Canada and find out what things are like outside of the country and find out what the different laws and customs are around the world. Next, as you actually start to approach your topic, consider if there are a few broad angles that you can actually tackle for this subject. Does the resolution have any impact which are sociological, political, logical or practical, environmental, economical, legal, ethical, or moral, to name a few? Once you have a few themes in mind, aim for 3 themes, you and your partner can together brainstorm arguments which follow along these themes, but are on slightly different tacks or different angles. So I'll give you an example. Consider the debate, roundabouts are better than traffic lights. One of your 3 themes can be an environmental impact. And from this one theme of environmental, you can actually have lots of arguments that come out of that. So, for example, the Prime Minister could say that roundabouts don't consume electricity. So therefore, the energy would be saved, and that any pollution-generating power generators would be reduced. So you're lowering your carbon footprint. And then the second speaker for the government could then follow that by saying that roundabouts are reducing the idling by the cars that are participating in those roundabouts. And then that drops the carbon footprint of the vehicle itself. So you've got one theme across the entire team with different arguments. And then you've got these 2 distinct arguments raising organically from a single theme, which is great. Then don't just stop at your arguments. You want to make sure that your arguments are well supported with relative and relevant research. The points I just mentioned sound reasonable, they sound clear. Well, sure, a roundabout, you don't have lights, there's no power. But you don't want to just say that, even though it appears to be clear. You want to back that up. So, for example, are there any statistics for energy consumption of traffic lights from Ontario Power Generation or Hydro One, etc.? Are there any studies measuring the idling emissions from vehicles at red lights? You want some facts, you want some information. And then use a broad range of sources. Don't just look at Wikipedia. Can you find articles from recognizable news sources around the world? Can you find studies from reputable journals that are coming from official statistics from government sources like Statistics Canada? Those are hard facts, and they really add credence to your case. And finally, there must be a clear and logical link between your content, your source, and your argument. So you can't just say something and then say, oh, and this is backed up by time. You have to actually have a reasonable link. And finally, when you're in the middle of doing your research, take a look at the points which support the opposing side. So think about what the opposition is going to come up with. And then don't just use those counterpoints as your entire argument. Don't just debate against what you think the opposition is going to say before they even say it. But be mindful of what the other side has. You can kind of do a little bit of research, do a little bit of thinking about what they might surprise you with, and then you can have that all kind of ready in your back pocket when it comes to rebuttal and refutation time. So don't just do straw man fallacy. Don't argue against something that hasn't been said yet. So, for example, for the debate, dogs are better than cats, consider reasons why cats would be good companions. And then consider if there's any flaws in the logical reasoning around those arguments, just to be ready for them. Just have these ideas handy. The last thing I'll say about things that you want to prepare for is see if you can find any fun quotes or any puns or jokes that you want to add in, or some style points. So prepare, see if there's anything that's clever. And it's something that can make your presentation more memorable. And it also comes back to what makes you unique when you're presenting behind the stage. So these are the members that are here tonight. Each person has their own style that they've developed here over the years. So you want to start developing your own style and see how you want to prepare for that. So that comes over time. And I've kind of tricked you while walking you through this presentation to talk about the adjudication scorecard, which is actually how we judge and how we score our debates. So first we talk about argument, and I'll read the right-hand side, which is for a perfect score. So for arguments, all of your arguments are very persuasive and relevant. For content, you've got compelling evidence for all arguments. For your rebuttal and refutation, you've got devastating and gripping rebuttals, which is great if you prepared for them. And teamwork, you've got a focused and it's seamless and it's balanced. Again, you've got the same arguments coming, you've got the same themes coming from the same side, no contradictions. And finally, for style and rhetoric, it's perfectly compelling and entertaining. So those are all of the tools I can give you to put together a perfect debate. Thank you.
Toma una agüita con limón o algo así. ¿Qué has tomado para esa gripa?
Jengibre con limón. Pero creo que tengo un virus muy fuerte que tengo fiebre interna y me duele muchísimo la boca, la garganta. Entonces creo que debo esperar a que evolucione el virus en mi cuerpo y ya empiece a salir, porque no, creo que no me ha servido los remedios caseros. Ajo, no, es que no.
Si te toca cuidarse mucho, si te toca trabajar por la noche.
Sí.
Cuidarse mucho ahí. Bueno, cuéntame qué te pareció el video. Tell me about that. What do you think is now interesting?
Okay. The video is about research to how to prepare a debate.
Okay.
First, debate says in the video says I have to start the research.
Okay.
The guy says about the 3 examples of debate. One is of research. The people, ¿cómo se dice en pasado? The people had research about the pollution in Canada, the facts about what happened out of country, of Canada. We have found or brings arguments about how traffic lights have impact of environment, pollution. The guy says we have found relevant research, and we have to be clear about the research. The things about how reduce pollution about the cars, and the lights of las luces, lights, las luces del... Entendí que eran las luces, pero no lo alcancé a escribir completo.
Vale, no hay problema. Do it, don't worry.
One more. The guide says too about the statistics, research, and we have to anticipate to my opponent. The things we make the presentation will memorable. We have jokes, make jokes.
That's right.
The guy says we don't have find in Wikipedia, o sea que no buscáramos en Wikipedia. We have to be clear about the content. And in the middle of the presentation, we have to anticipate with some topics. And I have the guy say we have to the own style to the presentation.
Okay.
What more? We have to find statistics about the team. ¿Cómo se dice tema? No more. No alcanzo a escribir nada más.
Very, very, very well. Still in compression.
Yo comprendo, es que yo lo que no puedo es hablar.
Mira que la primera. Yeah.
Porque me da pena hablar, o sea, me confundo, me da nervios, pero yo entiendo, o sea, yo entiendo que fue acerca de un debate, que hay que, para prepararlo hay que ser organizado, tener los temas organizados, hacer hacer estudios, mirar estadísticas para poder soportar mis argumentos, anticiparme al oponente, tener mi propio estilo, realizar chistes, ser lógico en la investigación para mi tema, no buscar cosas que no tengan un respaldo como Wikipedia, sino que sean cosas realmente estudios que respalden mis puntos durante el debate. Eso fue lo que entendí. Bueno, aparte de las luces de los semáforos, cómo reducir la polución, estudios acerca de cómo reducir la polución de los carros, obtener hechos y argumentos, estadísticas y estudios. Eso fue, pero pues en inglés me queda un poquito más difícil, yo trato, pero ahí voy.
Y me incluyo en precisamente ampliar un vocabulario. De pronto sabemos y hay algunos sinónimos que nos vienen o nos van, de pronto no presente porque no lo usamos. Pero definitivamente nos sirve porque ese reto es el que nos coloca, nos dice, me falta esa palabra en el vocabulario. Entonces, tengo que tener esa presente, o cómo se dice, o me la voy a llevar. Pues era que yo les decía la vez pasada que es muy importante tener definitivamente una herramienta. ¿Sí?
Yo le cambié el idioma al celular, pero
bien.
quedó como en español-inglés y ahora se me revuelve. Ya no sé cómo cambiarlo.
Bueno, un secretico de algo que pasa, dependiendo de las aplicaciones que utilices. ¿Con cuál se cambias todo el idioma? Por ejemplo, cuando le escribes a los familiares en WhatsApp, más que todo, él toma todo el lenguaje y entonces toma el corrector ortográfico, lo buscas en inglés. Entonces, ese corrector ortográfico, por eso cuando estás escribiendo, se troca con las palabras. ¿Sí?
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hola, o sea, ¿no le tengo que cambiar todo el celular, sino solamente en WhatsApp?
Lo que pasa es un consejo que tienes que ver más o menos cómo revisas. Por ejemplo, las apps como Facebook, esas que utilizas, esas las puedes manejar en inglés y no te afecta el corrector ortográfico porque Messenger lo tiene paralelo, no es el mismo, lo puedes utilizar. Creo que Instagram, bueno, ya yo no utilizo tantas, pero las demás también no te afectan. La que puede afectarte cuando cambias todo el idioma para escribir, como le cambias a todo el teléfono, pues WhatsApp también se afecta. Y no escribe en español.
O sea, solo directamente cada aplicación aparte, o sea, aparte, y no en el teléfono, porque por eso es que se me está revolviendo.
A veces escribes y entonces te sale una palabra y te queda mal o mandas un spam. Eso pasa. Pero haz el cambio en la PC, en el televisor.
Eso queda horrible.
Vas a sentir el cambio visual, ¿no? También cuando empezamos a utilizar, alguien estaba hablando sobre lo mismo, acostumbrarnos a utilizar nuestras aplicaciones diarias en inglés. Entonces, lo vas a notar.
I use it already.
Okay, that's great. That is the idea. So if you are using every day that app, when you change to other language, for example, if you are using English for all your apps, but you change, for example, you come back to your Spanish, is something weird because the translate is complete and
yes,
and
I don't like it.
Yeah, that's great because you are in your memory, in your mind is all the time is the words is in English. So try to change for all your apps or your whatever, your PC, your TV, or the electronic. Trying for everything, and you try all the time. You are English. You are understanding English. I change all my apps. If I am, for example, if I driving, all my car is in English, including
Waze? Google Maps?
Yeah, for example, Google Maps. I prefer Google Maps, and I don't like Waze. I think I don't like it really, for be honest. But for example, Google Maps is in when I use it is in English. 1 mile, 2 miles for for home, whatever, yeah, for your job. And I try to use whatever app using in English. So um, Lina was explaining us about so what that she seen about its activity to watch the video. Do you wanna play a game for for a later? Do you wanna do it again, Lina? Was great. I think was great how do you explain that you understand about the video. I think was a great presentation. Maybe she wanna hear you.
Okay. The the video is about to how to research to make a presentation for to debate. Um, in the video has about the guy says in Canada um, in 2007 have research about um, about the environment, how environment impacts the country, Canada. Um, they are research about the pollution, how the pollution impact the environment. Uh, what more? The video says about we have to find research statistics, anticipate to my opponent, and all the things to we have to prepare before the debate, no? Of the topics and how to make the presentation. Mm, all is about the how to prepare a debate and the presentation of debate.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you? You understand the same thing?
What do tell me? What do you think about the video, Aleida? What do you understand?
Okay.
What he is talking about?
Okay, the video is about a debate, how to present a debate. So the guy says steps to follow to make a good presentation. So at first he talk about that we have to pretend to be in a debate before it happens. So next, he talk about that we have to reflect about the topic and we have to know about what we talking about and maybe something that is in our minds and ideas or something like that. Um, um, da, da, da. They talk about the impact that that topic take in like sociology, economical, logical, what else? Practical. He talk about it.
Great.
He talk about that we have to use real situations, facts like statistics. Uh, we have to arguments that support the research that have to be real. Mm, we have to take the opposite side. Uh, we have to know what they gonna say before they do. Uh, and we have to be what? And we have to use our own style. So we have to be just ourselves.
Okay. Great.
Um, we have to be confident with the presentations. Use
Great.
like joke. He talked about that. So that the public say that we real prepared to that debate. I understand that.
Great girls. I really want to say you, I feel very happy for the fast for to understand this video and make it so simple. That's true. With what we try to do, we try to prepare in different moments. Maybe you need to play in the university or whatever or situation in your life. Maybe is necessary. It's important to have clear how do you want to do it when you are desiring in whatever situation. You need the other part. You're, what do you want to say? And what do you want to say that? And what is your point? And what are you looking for? If you are a leader or you are a teacher, like you will be in the soon future, but that is the point for to watch this video. How to make a leader for other people when you try to explain to make sure that what you're talking, you need to take note, to have a order for to explain you that situation. So I want to say you that is the point. That is the reason because we are watching this video. So I think it was great. And so happy with that part. I will send you passing other part. I will send you other video. Maybe I think we have time. Uh, that is the idea. Explain what is the video is very short. It's not too long with the other. It's very short. We will try to do the same activity. Watch that video and tell me something about what do you think, what is the reason on why we are watching that video. Okay? With the
Okay,
second
teacher.
in your chat in this moment. You can start
Okay.
watching and we can have 4 minutes for.
Okay, teacher.
Can you see the
So
video, Lily?
yeah, well,
Do you have a problem?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Do you have a problem with the video?
Oh, no, no. Yes. Wait. It's about EOS speaking test part 1.
Good morning. My name is Said Mahmoud. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yeah, my name is Fatima bint Muhammad.
Thank you. Can you tell me where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Sirek, which is in Bangladesh.
Okay. Can I see your identification, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's fine. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you a few questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
Well,
teacher, what is the link?
I'm a homemaker, but this is just a career break. And aside that, I'm also concerned about my career perspective, which is accountancy.
Why did you choose this profession?
Well, I think I'm good with numbers, and I studied taxation and accounting at the university.
The link.
It really intrigues me how to reduce taxes legally. I think people like what they are good at, so I like to do accounting.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in this profession in the future?
My goal is to become a tax advisor one day, because from my viewpoint, tax is such an ever-changing field. It's a challenge to keep up with it, which I like.
Now, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about weekends.
What do you usually do at the weekends?
Well, usually after a long work week, I like to spend my weekends with my family. Maybe make some delicious dishes, do some exercise, and even maybe take a good nap. But as I'm not working or studying now, I'm considerably relaxed. So I like to do something interesting with my husband in weekend.
What do you think you will be doing next weekend?
Well, so far I'm planning to go shopping with my husband. I'm also thinking to visit some of our relatives and maybe it's evening I will cook something for us.
Okay. Do you enjoy your weekends now more than you did when you were a child?
Well, as a kid, I like to hang out with my friends, play some outdoor games, maybe read some storybooks. But over time, my taste changed, and now I like to pass more time with my family, do something creative, maybe take a trip someplace nice. So I still like weekends as much, but in a different way.
How important is it for you to relax at the end of the week?
Well, as I said before, I relaxed all week. But I think the people who are busy in the long weekdays, they really need a break, especially if they have any special assignment in the upcoming week.
Now, let's talk about films. What sort of films do you usually enjoy?
Um, uh, actually, any type of film with nice plot and with good making, I enjoy really. Whether it is a chick flick or a psychological thriller, no matter. But I'm not too big a fan of comedies.
Right. Kind of films that you like changed over the years.
Yeah, through time, my taste of films have surely changed. I think in my teenage years, I used to watch films based on who was starring, such as maybe Schwarzenegger's film. Um, as I grew older, the storylines became more important to me. Hence, I'm now more into the genre that would have better and in-depth stories.
Okay, what do you think is the reason for this change?
Well, before I used to emphasize on the casting more because I wasn't very good at English. But over the years, the more I watch the movies, the better I understand the language. And then I realized that what is as important, if not more, than the big names.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. Here's some paper and a pencil. You can make notes if you wish. Do you understand? Here's your topic.
Rolling with the video.
Yes.
Find the link.
Rolling with the link. I hear you stop.
Teacher, I don't find the link. Where is it?
In the chat. I like that. The video is in the chat.
There is no link.
18.
No, it's nothing. Just the
In the chat in this conversation, or you can see in your Google Hangout.
there is nothing. Okay, already.
Teacher, I can see the video again, please.
Yeah, don't worry.
I don't feel very good.
No, no problem. Okay. Time because how I said is now all the classmates. So with two person is more simple to make something different. We have 18 minutes for to finish. So the idea is to take no more 6 minutes for to watch again to start to play in the last 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So I expect.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Said Mahmoud. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yeah, my name is Fatima bint Muhammad.
Thank you. Can you tell me where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Sylhet, which is in Bangladesh.
Okay. And can I see your identification, please? Thank you. That's fine. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you a few questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
For the moment, I'm a homemaker. But this is just a career break. Alongside that, I'm also concerned about my career perspective, which is accountancy.
Why did you choose this profession?
I think I'm good with numbers, and I studied taxation and accounting at the university. It really intrigues me how to reduce taxes legally. I think people like what they are good at, so I like to do accounting.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in this profession in the future?
My goal is to become a tax advisor one day, because from my viewpoint, tax is such an ever-changing field. It's a challenge to keep up with it, which I like.
Now, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about weekends. What do you usually do at the weekends?
Usually after a long work week, I like to spend my weekend with my family. Maybe make some delicious dishes, do some exercise, even maybe take a good nap. But as I'm not working or studying now, and I'm considerably relaxed, I like to do something interesting with my husband in weekend.
What do you think you will be doing next weekend?
So far I'm planning to go shopping with my husband. I'm also thinking to visit some of our relatives and maybe even cook something for us.
Okay. Do you enjoy your weekends now more than you did when you were a child?
As a kid, I like to hang out with my friends, play some outdoor games, maybe read some storybooks. But over time, it has changed, and now I like to pass more time with my family, do something creative, maybe take a trip someplace nice. I still like weekends that much, but in a different way.
How important is it for you to relax at the end of the week?
Well, as I said before, I relaxed all week. But I think the people who are busy in the long weekdays, they really need a break, especially if they have any special assignment in the upcoming week.
Now, let's talk about films. What sort of films do you usually enjoy?
Special assignment in the upcoming week.
Now,
as I said before, I relaxed all week. But I think the people who are busy in the long weekdays, they really need a break, especially if they have any special assignment in the upcoming week.
now, let's talk about films. What sort of films do you usually enjoy?
Actually, any type of film with nice plot and good making, I enjoy really. Whether it is a chick flick or a psychological thriller, no matter. But I'm not too big a fan of comedies.
Right. Has the kind of films that you like changed over the years?
Yeah. Through time, my taste for films has surely changed. I think in my teenage years, I used to watch films based on who was starring, such as the Schwarzenegger films. As I grew older, the storyline became more important to me. Hence, I'm now more into the genre that it has better and in-depth stories.
Okay. What do you think is the reason for this change?
Well, before I used to emphasize on the casting more because I wasn't very good at movie. But over the years, the more I watch the movies, the better I understand the language. And then I realized that what is as important, if not more, than the big names.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. Here's some paper and a pencil. You can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right. Here's your topic.
Did you finish?
Yes.
Okay. More clear?
Little more. Yes.
Whatever you want to know, I want to hear you.
We have to wait for Aleida, or what is Aleida?
Good point. Chico Dao.
You can wait for her.
Okay, don't worry. If she come back to the meeting, so you don't need to repeat you don't need to repeat that you are displaying. Okay, so don't worry.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Said Mahmoud. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yeah, my name is Fatima Binti.
Thank you. Can you tell me where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Select, which is in Bangladesh.
Okay. Can I see your identification, please? Thank you. That's fine.
Okay. You want to start?
In this first part, I'd like.
Did you watch the video? Okay.
Yes, teacher. Again.
What do you understand about this video? What is the idea? What they are trying to do? I can see an interview, and there are an examiner. Yeah. Okay. If you want to start, I can hear you.
Okay. The video is about our interview. The, how do you, ¿cómo se dice el entrevistador?
Examiner.
The examiner asked her about the identification. Yes. And the examiner asks if she works. She works and she says if she is a housewife. He asked why she no practice or no studying. And she tells him that she wants to become tax something about taxes advisor or something like that. The examiner asks her where is the where is she from? She answered Sanlen, Bangladesh. Sanlen, bueno, eso. The examiner asks her what she does on weekend. Yeah. She answered that she likes to spend time with her family and take a nap. Sometimes she likes take a nap and go out with her husband. What more? The examiner asked what she do for the next weekend. She says they're going to she will going to go to shopping, something like that. The examiner asking about what she likes on the weekends when she was a child and something. And she explained him that she liked to go outside more ¿cómo se dice? En esa época le gustaba salir más afuera.
In that age, or in the past, or when she was young, or it's something similar when you say it in Spanish. So, in general, this activity is basically for to do making this part. Maybe this part will be something like your exam. About this video. So okay, Ala Italina was explaining me what does she understand about this video. What does she think? What does she think in this idea, or what is exactly the point they are trying to display or to? So, do you want to tell me something about the
It's
interview?
like an exam,
Can you
right?
repeat?
It's like an exam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, uh, it's like an interview. I don't know, something like that. So the guy asked to the woman about his profession, about her goals, about she do, what she likes to do on weekends, and about movies. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. So she said that she's at the moment a home worker, but she wants to study accountant. Um, she said that her goal is to become a tax advisor, and that she likes to spend time with family on weekends and do exercise and prepare something delicious. Um, she talk about movies that at the moment she likes the deep stories. What else? That's it, I think.
Okay. Great, girl. Great. Great. Your analysis for the video was
When
great.
she was child.
To hear you. How do you play that? How do you speak? Very well. Um, I congrat you.
I,
I can hear the difference um, and the great. I mean, we are working like a team. So, um, in this video for resume, in this video we can see a possible job interview where they are asking when I talking they or for exactly when he is making some question, he is the examiner. Okay, that is exactly word for to explain who is he. He is the examiner, and the girl is the examined person in the interview. Okay, for to have clear which part is
Okay.
every each one of them. Okay. Um,
Okay.
Basically, he is asking a series of questions, and the idea she answer according he try or he is playing. And maybe it's a job interview or whatever or class in their interview, but it's basically that is the situation they are doing in that moment. And she's talking about that different activity she does day in her day by day in the daily life, and he has different tastes. Um, Something similar that we are doing in this moment is our final exam, or to have cleared this part. This is activity what we are going to do our exam, okay? Or to have clear, maybe we do something like this. Maybe between you or maybe you with me, whatever, but it's exactly. And the idea is to make the final quiz in the 11 May, okay? Or the Friday 11 May. It's not more. I know you have different activities in your life, daily life. So thank you. It's no more for this moment. It's the 10 1 minutes. We're finished.
thank
I know you have
Teacher, thank you so much.
no, don't worry. That is my job and to make more easy, simple, and funny this class about you.
thank you.
Okay? And thank
Thank you,
you.
teacher.
Whatever question about the next activity for tomorrow for the final quiz, don't forget it. Send me a question and anytime I will ask you.
Okay, thank you, teacher. It was good.
Thank you,
Have a
teacher.
Have a nice day.
pleasure. A big hug. Bye
Thank
bye.
Bye, Aleida. Bye, teacher.